It is possible that the body of Messiah, especially as revealed in the Hebraic roots community, may be experiencing a recipe for a spiritual pandemic, a sarat, or what is translated as leprosy. This Barry folks with 10-minute Torah, day number 5 of the Torah portion Tzaria. We're talking about Leviticus, Vayikra, chapter number 13, and the skin disease that shows up as a result of a spiritual malady. Now, there's a particular point that I want to draw your attention to, and that is this, as we look at verse number 5 and following. And the priest shall look at him on the 7th day and see if the infection appears to be as it was, and the infection has not spread on the skin. Then the priest shall shut him up another 7 days. And the priest shall look at him again on the 7th day and see if the infection is darkened and the infection is not spread on the skin. Then the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is a scab, and he shall wash his garments and be clean. But if the scab spreads further over the skin, after he has been seen by the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen by the priest again. And the priest shall look and see if the scab is spread on the skin. Then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. Now, as you continue to read throughout chapter number 13, you will see that it is in the authority of the priesthood to make the determination as to whether or not this physical malady is clean or unclean. That is, he does not go to a physician. This is a spiritual matter that the body is revealing. Therefore, it is under the jurisdiction of the priesthood to make the determination. Just as an aside, is it possible that we're trying to oftentimes treat spiritual matters with medical science and then wondering why the prescriptions or the medical advice is not working? Just a thought. In the opening statement, I said that we are experiencing a recipe wherein we may be experiencing or about to experience a pandemic. Nobody likes that word pandemic, especially in the hour we're currently living in. But understand it in this regard. There is, as it has come to my attention over the last several months, maybe the last couple of years even, a trend in the body of Messiah, as I have seen it revealed, especially in the Hebraic roots community, where people are resistant, I'll use that word, resistant or even reluctant to bring themselves or allow themselves to be placed under the authority of leadership. This is manifested in the following scenario, in that there are congregations meeting in homes or even a building somewhere, some number in a group, who are saying, we don't want anyone to be in charge. We don't want anyone to have spiritual authority. We want to meet, we want to discuss the Torah, we want to hear from among ourselves, but we really don't want a leader because, well, we were burned before in spiritual leadership, and, well, man has just proven himself incapable of doing that job rightly. Well, that smacks in the face of every pastor, especially, who has given themselves to the nurturing and caregiving of a local congregation and flock. I will agree that there are men and women who have been abusive, who have used whatever title that they have been given, whatever piece of ordination authority that they have been given, to run roughshod, to manipulate and even try to control their constituents or their congregational members. I understand that. I've seen it perhaps at times even experienced it. But that does not mean that there are not sincere, wholehearted, devoted men and women who have given themselves to the understanding of His Word, to prayer, to the seeking of the Father's face, to the demonstration of compassion and nurturing and caregiving to those that are under their charge or under their authority. Not everybody comes in like a big bad sheriff wearing a badge and toting a couple handguns to swagger in and use their title and their prominence, their charismatic personality, their intimidation techniques to control folks. The problem is this: without spiritual authority, we're left to diagnose ourselves. That being the case, we're not going to credibly look at ourselves and say, you have a problem, and this is your problem, and this is your remedy. That rarely, if ever, works. What we need is someone who has discernment and right understanding from the Word to offer to us correction. Nobody likes the idea of either receiving and, in all honesty, giving reproof. I have no joy in looking at someone in a setting of rebuke or reproof and telling them this is what needs to be done. This is the area of sin. This is the area of error. This is the wrong understanding of doctrine, and it has to be corrected. And so you hear a response, well, who gave you this authority? Who do you think you are? I will tell you I'm a man of Elohim, and I have 30 to 40 years of experience in leading and guiding people, nurturing them, sometimes successfully, sometimes unsuccessfully. But I trust to hear the voice of the Father, to understand His Word, and to offer that sincerely to you, the listeners here on 10-Minute Torah, and to our local congregation, and to others who may hear us in other venues. I'm not alone. There are many men and women that I know across this nation who seek to do exactly that and are successful in doing so. The local congregation that may be just getting started, the house group, the small group of individuals, you may be needing some guidance, some understanding. Let me let you in on some information here. There are people available that want to help you, want to nurture you, to teach you to grow, to encourage you, to support you, to pray over you, to listen to your needs, and try to offer some righteous counsel to you. One of these resources can be found at BneiYosefNA.com. I'll spell that. BneiYosefNA.com. B'nai Yosef of North America is a group of people who are trying to nurture the body of Messiah as identified as the house of Israel. We're not perfect people, but we try to offer support, encouragement, identity, connectedness, an opportunity to grow together. You can go to the website and you can find that there are men and women who are elders who want to help you. I encourage you to make that connection if it's necessary. But let's also understand we are not successful in our self-diagnosing. We need someone to sincerely look at us. Let us know you're growing, you're getting there, you're maturing, you're healing. Improvement is not enough to come home. The leper, in this case as it's translated, needed to be thoroughly cleansed and processed in order to come home. The body of Messiah found in the house of Israel, we've been long scarred and diseased. We need healing and full restoration so that we can come home. Shabbat Shalom to all who watch this, to you, your family, to your gathering. May the presence of Yeshua be richly found in your midst. Until next week, Shalom.